experience has been very different from Esther's. I grew up in South London or whatever.
Yeah.
And Esther, you live a bit out here. I can't even lie to you. Like,
Live out.
out here, past more than, them ones.
I
It's not
can't
even
even live
real.
in London, like I try to claim it, people are like, nah, sorry,
Nah,
you
you're
can't
not in
claim
it. You're not in it.
it.
Obviously, I grew up in Peckham, like you guys should know already from my videos. If you haven't watched them, the links are below, all that.
Yeah.
And my my first admission I think I was around 2 years old. It was a really bad crisis, and it was to King's College Hospital. And King's College Hospital has an amazing sickle cell department, one of the biggest hospitals and busiest hospitals in London. And they have
Yeah.
such an amazing ER department and what's it called? Sickle cell department. And I have been so blessed because all the hospitals I've received care in have a very good understanding and specialized care for sickle cell. And I was treated by Dr. Dick in King's College Hospital. I don't know if she's still there. Shout out to you, Dr. Dick, the real MVP, who took amazing care of me. And when my family was moving to Manchester, was personally handled our transition. She said, I know a doctor there in Manchester University Hospital. Her name is Dr. Thomas. I'm going to make sure. No, I think I said the wrong name there, but I'm old now. I'm 28. And she's like, I'm going to make sure that she knows who you are, and we're just going to make the transition as smooth as possible. And thank God she did, because when I moved to Manchester, my health was the worst I had ever been, because their weather is against humans.
Oh boy.
It's against human survival. And it just broke me down. And I was very blessed, because when I was going to the hospital, I would never even spend like an hour in A&E. I had like a priority pass. Right now in the COVID, if you work in the NHS, you've got a priority pass, which I also have. That's how I'd be like, oh, sickle cell. So, bye.
Wow.
I just cruise on through, girl. Be like, oh, what's wrong with you? Sickle cell. Oh, okay. Let's get you medication. I said, oh, thank you. And I think, but also I think it's a difference, because I had those kind of admissions young, and I think you are treated differently as a child. People take your pain a bit more seriously in children's departments, and then when you get older, you have had that history, and that adds weight. But also, my mum always taught me to speak for myself. At that age, so I would have been, when we were in Manchester and had a really bad crisis, I would have been about 12.
Okay.
12, 13. And my mum would come with me to the hospital, and she would say, no, you tell them what's wrong. It's your body. And, you're in pain, and you're like, Mommy, Mom. But I know she was teaching me that presence of mind to be able to speak for myself. And always instilling in me, you have to be your own physician to a certain point. They're going to look to you to know what's wrong. And my mom's always empowered me that if I say I'm not feeling well, she will take me at my word. She never questions me. She always understands my pain. And so I think having that reassurance from the home, I was able to transfer that confidence when I went to the hospital. And I'd be like, no, it's really bad. I'm not showing it right now, but that's because I'm strong. But it's really bad. And I don't like to come to the hospital, but I'm coming because I can't take it. Enunciating those kind of things and saying it out loud that, hey, yes, I'm in pain. No, I'm not crying. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I had to be. Things like that made a big difference. And again, having got doctors who were in my corner who knew the severity of sickle cell and knew that it had to be taken seriously. I'm gonna tell you, only time I have suffered a a little bit
Yeah.
was when I had to go to Kingston University in uni, because that's where the ambulance took me.
Yeah.
And that lesson taught me you can tell them where to take you. It don't matter if it's far. And no matter where I am, I will tell them, you better take me to St. George's because that's my hospital. They
Oh,
want
I
me
didn't
there.
know that.
Oh,
I
girl,
didn't know that, you know.
buddy, huh?
That's my
Catch
fear.
an Uber within the radius, okay?
That's
If you need
my
to.
fear. That is literally my fear, like being in
Yeah.
a different place and then
No, I have. So my uni was in Roehampton. They would take me to St. George's because still technically
yeah,
was close enough. I've lived in Streatham and West Norwood, and they will take me to St.
yeah,
George's. Um, I will go there. I will go there. Point blank. Period.
yeah.
.com / don't ask me no questions, because I know that I can trust that the care there is
Mm,
specialized. And I will hold up my hands and say, St. George's, y'all have never let me down. If
yeah.
y'all are, stalking me or have become super fans of the Unsilent G, you may have Googled me and discovered that I was in 24 hours A&E in St. George's.
Wait, what?
All
I
right?
didn't even know this.
Yes, yes. I can't believe
See
actually that
that?
I'm saying this out loud because I don't know. I don't look good. I don't look good,
I,
girl.
I need to see that. What?
Girl.
How
But
the heck did this happen?
I'll give credit to Channel 4 and the 24 Hours in A&E production. They decided to speak on my story because they knew that it was important to speak about invisible illnesses.
Yeah.
And I want to just say, in terms of racism within healthcare, when you have an invisible illness, you
Mm.
don't need your race to make you even more invisible,
Mm.
because you're already suffering
Yeah.
something that no one can see.
Yeah.
It can feel, the pain that we're feeling can feel as bad as a bone breaking out of your skin. And if you saw that, you'd give me the medication, you'd treat
Yeah.
me as a priority. But you
Yeah.
can't see it because it's inside. And then
Yeah.
also, you're not looking because I'm Black.
Yeah.
And I've been in different situations where, because people have an ignorance of sickle cell,
Mm.
they didn't treat me with that urgency
Yeah.
until I then said, hold up, wait a minute, ask, ask for this person. They have said da 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 da, and
Mm.
had to get a little feisty up in this beer. Okay?
Yeah.
And said, you know what? If you
Yeah.
want angry Black woman, I'm gonna give it to you in small
Mhm.
doses, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna need the medication in large doses, please.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I definitely had to learn to advocate for myself. But this is the thing: if you're in pain, if you're in crisis, if you're on the brink, you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to go the extra mile
Yeah.
and be loud and be having to fight for the treatment you naturally deserve from the
Yeah.
people you are entrusting with your life,
Yeah.
period. And I'm so sorry that that has been a repeated instance for you. Almost
Yeah.
every hospital admission you told me about has been you in A&E for hours up and end, then
Yeah.
you in AMU not receiving the medication you need, only to be admitted and be the last person on the doctor's rounds they see,
Mhm.
because they
Yeah.
do see in order priority, always being put in last, 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 and you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what? That's
Yeah.
why I advocated for you to go to St. George's and get your care there.
Yeah.
The staff there, they listen to your pain, they acknowledge your pain, they treat your
Yeah.
pain. And that's how what you should be getting in every hospital. There's
Yeah.
no reason you should go to any hospital in the UK and they are not trained on sickle cell, they're not aware of the disease and its implications, and they
Yeah.
don't listen to you.
Yeah.
There's nowhere.
I
There's
have to
nowhere.
say, St. George's is pretty good because I remember I used to do these student doctor sessions with shout out to Eula Valentine if you don't know. She used to run a sickle cell charity, but obviously it got shut down because of what funding. Anyways,
The ghetto.
um, so she organized the student sessions where people with sickle cell would come in and actually the doctors would ask questions and would tell them about everything.
Yeah.
So St. George's is different, man. It's
It's
so
different.
different.
And although we definitely take the time to cheer on the hospitals like King's College and Manchester University Hospital and
Yeah.
St. George's, we
Yeah.
shouldn't have to single out those hospitals. You go to
Yeah.
any hospital and you say you have something like asthma, they take it seriously.
Yeah.
Say you have something like cystic fibrosis, they take it seriously. If you say you have something like cancer, they take it seriously. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, sickle cells in the level of those things, it kills. I hate to say it, I hate to know
Yeah.
it, but it kills, and it has killed people. And you don't want to add to that death rate because you are being uneducated, uninformed, and lack in the way that you are treating someone with sickle cell, a life-threatening illness, who
Yeah.
is in severe pain that you will never know. And we
I
definitely
don't think.
shouldn't be getting the acknowledgement just because now you realize white people can get it too.
Yeah. 100%. I just it breaks my heart because like I've thought about this for years and years and years. Why is it that there's no research on this? Literally, there's only two things right now. Is the exchange and the hydroxycarbonide.
Yeah.
And if one doesn't work, you have to get the other. Like we need more research because it's
Yeah.
just more exposure
It's
because it's just too much.
it's at this point now where, okay, we've called out the issues,
Yeah.
um, we've shared our frustrations, and now the question is, what can we do?
Yeah.
The main thing when it comes to racism is that the root of it is ignorance. So
Yeah.
educate yourself. If you know someone with sickle cell, or if you don't,
Yeah.
research. Because guess what? It's not something that discriminates, even though
Yeah.
you may.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you can get, you can pass on to someone. Even if you're a carrier, you
Yeah.
can still have a crisis. You can still have the symptoms and the issues of a sickle cell
Yeah.
disease individual. So
Yeah.
it's something that everyone needs to be really informed on because it's something that everyone can be severely affected by.
Yeah.
The same way we all had, we all saw the devastation that's caused by a lack of knowledge when it came to COVID.
Yeah.
Um, that's the kind of devastation that individuals are experiencing because people don't know enough. So if you
Yeah.
are in healthcare, you're a nurse, you're
Yeah.
a doctor, you're a HCA, you're a midwife,
Yeah.
whatever it is, don't rely on your colleague who does a specialty or who has done a rotation in hematology or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Don't rely on them to know. Make sure you take the impetus to understand, especially
Yeah.
if you're going to be working in A&E.
Mhm.
If the paramedics can take the time out of their way to make sure they know about something because they know that
Yeah.
they are going to experience it and treat it out in the field,
Yeah.
then you at the base, at the hospital, should make
Mhm.
sure you understand and you know about it.
Yeah.
You're not just thinking about where you can transfer them to, another
Mhm.
hospital you can pass them off to, but
Yeah.
thinking about how you can build up your resources so that you can better care for these people. And
Yeah.
you, if you're not in the healthcare system and you're thinking, what can I do? There are so many charities that are dedicated to the research and the funding of sickle cell
Mhm.
and the helping of so many individuals. And I'm going to put the links
Down
in the bio.
below.
And I just also another way is for you to share this video, share this
Yeah.
conversation. Let's get people talking. We're only talking about our experiences and
Yeah.
our knowledge in terms of sickle cell, but when it comes to racism within healthcare,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
The mortality rates with obstetrics and gynecology, giving birth,
Right.
endometriosis,
Mhm.
all those kind of things are, fibroids, all those kind of things that affect Black women at a
Yeah.
disparagingly high rate.
Yeah.
Even with the way we've tackled COVID, we've noticed people of color were dying a confusingly alarming
Right. Yeah.
disproportion to white people. And we know that it's not a genetic issue because
Yeah.
our cousins and our sisters and our brothers in Africa and the Caribbean and in India and
Yeah.
they're fine.
Like, extremely fine.
They're very fine. They're not catching it the way
Yeah.
we're catching it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I mean, Barbados is, I was talking to my friend earlier, Barbados overall
Yeah.
COVID cases is like 95.
I mean,
So, and then you have somewhere like Italy where I know y'all ain't black up in there. And it's really, really high. It's really, really high. So nobody can convince me that it's because of our genetics that we're getting it. That makes you think it's got to be something about the system in which we are receiving care
yeah.
is flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish we could talk about this for
Yeah.
ages.
Even the fact that with this, what's it called, this testing experiments with the new vaccine, they want to go and try and do it in Africa.
No,
It,
no, ma'am. No, thank
no,
you.
like,
Better take your ass to Italy. Better take your ass to Spain. They have it.
exactly. Like, I don't understand. No, we can.
it's 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 naive and willfully ignorant to believe that race plays no part in healthcare.
Yeah.
There's a reason why within our communities there are a lot of people who don't go to the hospital, don't go to the doctors if something is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's because they're used to their pain being ignored. There's a
Mm-hmm.
disproportionate amount of Black women who have suffered and died from heart attacks and strokes just because they were sent home when they complained about their pain,
Yeah.
and who were told to lose weight
Yeah.
or some, just being dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things that we have to be consciously aware of, but also
Yeah.
consciously fighting, because
Yeah.
these are people's lives that are
Mhm.
lost for no other reason than bias.
Yeah.
And the change has to start with us. The more that
Yeah.
we're talking about it, the more that you ask your friend, like, what is it like for you to go to the doctor? Do you go to the doctor often? Because when
Yeah.
I go and I ask for something, I get it. All those conversations make a difference. They make an
Mhm.
impact.
Yeah.
Even us as Black people talking more to our non-white friends or
Mhm.
colleagues or
Yeah.
acquaintances and being more open and sharing our stories. People like me and Esther have spent so much of our lives being quiet about the realities and the of living with sickle cell and how hard it
Mhm.
is, and the
Yeah.
kind of compromises that we have to make and the daily assessments and all the struggles that we go through. We've been quiet about it. And I
Yeah.
think some of that comes from this idea that we won't be heard and
No.
that people won't take it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we just need to know that we will be heard. So I think ask us,
Yeah.
how was your pain today?
Mhm.
Triggering as it might be for us to hear an answer,
Yeah.
ask
I was
us,
like,
how's your pain today? Do
yeah.
you need me to come to the hospital with you? Will it
Mhm.
help if I say something? Oh, my battery's low. Will it help if
Oh.
I say something? Um, be our allies, be our advocates, because the last thing when you are writhing in pain that you want to do is be a blacktivist.
Yeah. Literally.
Can we get a day off?
Literally.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me, Esther, to have this talk, to start off this
Uh,
series.
thank you
I'm
so
definitely
much.
going to have many more people that will be opening up this conversation with, talking about other health situations and talking to some friends I have in the healthcare profession. We can really open up this conversation a bit more. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're
Yes.
sharing. Make sure you're liking all of that.
Thank you so much, Rad, for having me.
Oh, no, thank you. I
Like,
love you,
I'll always come
girl.
back. I love you too, girl.
We have to do this again, but in
Oh,
person.
by the way, guys, shout out to Maria. She's a, what is it, voiceover actress now? What? Listen, I'm so proud of you. I'm so, like, when I saw that, I was like, wait, is it? Okay, girl, you better, listen.
And you see, Subscribers, I'm giving you this voice for free. I mean,
Listen, you better share this. You better share, comment, subscribe. Do what you need to do because you guys are lucky she's even doing this video for you. Cause
okay, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I have the link to the audiobook All My Lives Are True, where I am the voice of verity, in my description,
yay!
so that you guys can click on it, support. The author is a Black woman as well, so let's just make sure we're all supporting each other as well any way that we can. So
Yeah.
thank you, Esther. I didn't even pay her to do that.
Listen, I was like, this girl, you better come on, man. Nothing is
Come
stopping
on
her.
with it, come on.
She's out here chasing her dreams, living her best life. You know, nothing's gonna stop her. Nothing's
Come
gonna stop
on, come on. And shout out to you and your edges because
her.
they really popping.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
No, because y'all don't know, she just had a transfusion what last week?
Yeah, like, well, it's been a week now, Friday. Like, not this Friday, but the Friday before, yeah.
Yes. So that is you looking really healthy, girl.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yes, honey, you're looking healthy. Oh
Listen,